Hi everyone. So I do have to travel on Saturday, so I'm just doing this short screencastify for you. Just to let you know, you are in Module 3. I would like you to watch again Dr. Chris Emdin and his work. He uses hip hop as a culturally responsive way in his practice to teach STEM and to teach science, to bring joy, to bring creativity into the lessons. And he uses this culturally responsive education framework to bring in students to a space where they are able to engage, they are able to make connections, they're able to see themselves as scientists. And he does it with joy. So as you listen to him, what are the parts of his practice, his theory on culturally responsive practices that impacts us, right? So is he saying anything that we can actually learn from, take, and use? So just your own personal interpretation of his. It isn't for everyone, right? So some people may not feel comfortable using hip hop. There is a professor at Manhattan College that has trained with Chris Emdin. A lot of people do his trainings, and then they take what he does and they use it in their space. That's one way to use hip hop education. But there is a whole culturally responsive pedagogy built upon hip hop education. So that's something, to watch and to consider. And then here's another video, another way of introducing you to culturally relevant practices. All right, so just those two videos. And then using primary sources. So really thinking about what we're using in the classroom, why we're using it, and funds of knowledge, always an important part of when we're teaching our multilingual learners who need that American English language support. Using funds of knowledge, thinking about the intersection of funds of knowledge, using culture as an asset for our lessons is really important. So in this video here, using primary sources in our lessons, really digging into asset-based learning and looking at how lessons are designed from that lens. Sometimes we may use a white princess when we're telling a story, so we choose a white princess, and that's fine, right? But we should also show our Black and brown students that they can be princesses too, right? When we think about this idea of beauty, and Dr. Cho shared this in a workshop on Tuesday where we were talking about this, and she said, we have to be mindful. And it really, look at there was such outrage, if you haven't read it, when the Little Mermaid Disney, the new one came out. There was an outrage about it, and we think in 2023, why is there an outrage? But these are things that still exist, right? So that's why it's so important that we have this 504 course, right? And we're looking at microaggressions.